What up, dog? It's the word. You see the title. Let's talk about it. We got a problem. It's a huge problem. Right? There's too much complaining going on. Everybody complaining. We complaining about things that's happening to us as humans. Not even as black people. I'm just talking in general as humans. We complain about things, but we never sit down and talk about how fixing them. It's like we just a generation of complaining. I mean, and I hear people talk about the black experience, but when we come together, we don't talk about solutions to fix it. We don't give each other understanding or wisdom or share information to make a personal improvement on a person. No, we beat them down and break them down. That's what we do. We beat each other down and break each other down. And it's like, for what? So we can complain some more. Look what this person did to me. Like, come on, man. What was that, 2 years ago? We went and marched for George Floyd because a white cop killed him. In that time span, I wonder how many brothers hurt each other. And we say nothing. Because we condition to hurt each other. But if somebody else do it, then we rally. We should be rallying anytime one of us get hurt. No matter who hurt them. We are conditioned to think that hurting one another is okay. Normal. It just happens. A black man attacking a black man, that's not normal. In any type of way, verbally or physically, it's not normal. But we condition to it. In life, we get opportunities, right? We get opportunities. And what we do with those opportunities determine the condition that we in. That's how we get freed from being slaves. That's how we get put into slavery. Opportunity. But if we want to change, we got to first change our mindset, right? We got to stop thinking it's normal or okay for black people to fight. That's not normal. It's not okay. Especially over nothing. There's always going to be conflict, right? I understand that. It's always going to be conflict. But if we change our mindset and stop looking at one another as competition or enemies, that conflict will lower. And if we can lower the conflict between one another, we can start having discussions on how to make our conditions and situation better. But it's all about the way we think. I'm not talking to none of the females. I can't speak for females. I let the females handle the females. But men, we men, right? We really men, right? So if we get into an altercation, we should be able to talk first. Especially if the altercation ain't life changing. If a life ain't took and your life is not altered, we should be able to have a conversation and find a way to either work it out or agree to just go our separate ways. I mean, as men, right? We all humans, we all get emotional. But supposedly men control their emotions better than women. But in today's society, that's not true. That's not true. If it's not worse, it's the same. A large majority of men cannot control their emotions. We supposed to be the logic ones, the thinkers. It's easy. It's easy to get into conflict. It's easy. It's hard to get out of. It's hard to get out of. Because to get out of it, both parties got to agree. But one party might feel more damaged than the other. So, as men, I'm asking y'all to think first. If you want to cause change, think. Because until our mindsets change, our actions can't change. The way you think is how you perceive things. The way you perceive things determines decisions and choices you make. So if you're already thinking, if you go into a situation hot-headed, there's no positive outcome coming out of that. You won't even go into the situation looking for a solution. There is no solution. The solution is you being upset, you being emotional. That's the only solution to it. Complaints is in the same realm of excuses, right? That's what a complaint is an emotional excuse. That's what a complaint is. If there's no solution seeked, the complaint becomes an excuse. Because in a complaint with a solution, that's a problem that's being solved. So if you find yourself just complaining and not thinking about how to fix it, stop and think. If I me personally, speaking for myself, if I have an issue with a person, the first thing I think of, what can that person do to rectify it? So before I even talk to the person about what's going on, I already put in my head, if this happened, then we cool. And if it don't, I'm still walking away. But I'm presenting the opportunity. Because that's how change occurs. A change is doing something different. So if you're doing something one way and you presented the opportunity to do it a different way and you don't take it, there's no change. We all sit up here and we all want to think highly of ourselves. Some of us do. And some of us is right for doing it because the actions actually taken. But some people just talk. They talk like they know the information, but they just sticking their toe in the water because their actions is doing the complete opposite. That's like me coming up here speaking positive, right? And then I turn around the next day and get into a fight over something stupid. Not defending myself, but I pick a fight with somebody. I'm talking about it. I'm sticking my toe in the water. Hey, let's get together. Black people need to unite. Blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And then the next day, I just go punch a black brother in the mouth because I'm emotionally distressed right now. And I want to hurt somebody. Life is already hard. But at times we make it harder. At times we make it harder because it's the most common sense things that can be done and we don't do them. If you got a problem with somebody, talk to them. That is that easy. Because a lot of times it just might be a misunderstanding somewhere, a mistranslation somewhere. But to make effective change for you, for your family, for your community, for your people, you got to change your mindset first. And one of the first things you need to change in your mind that it's okay to go against another black man. And let me tell you the difference too. I watched a panel last night with black men arguing. They was going at it. You know, it was a panel of black men just going at it. And I'm not, me and a content creator, not like, we don't really know each other. I don't know the content creator. The content creator don't know me. So I didn't even really know the people up there. But for 3 hours, it was just black men going at it. And in the chat, it was just people cheering it on. Like you was in Rome watching the gladiators, right? That's kind of how it was, like a sparring match. And not one time did anyone say, hey, why don't we try to work all this out, or what can we do? What's the solution? Because we are conditioning the masses, over 100 people in the chat. We are conditioning because they look at it as entertainment, right? So what happens in your conscious mind, you're looking at it as entertainment. And by doing that in your subconscious mind, it's downloading as entertainment. Black men arguing, fighting. That's what's being downloaded into your subconscious mind. And what is telling your subconscious mind that this is okay. So when you go see it in real life, what happens is it becomes okay. It becomes normal. It's not normal. But it was a panel today. A similar thing happened. Black man arguing. The difference was the host asked them multiple times, can y'all agree to disagree? I went up on the panel and was talking to them, asked them, can y'all agree to disagree? The chat, the people in the chat didn't like it. They wasn't cheering it on. And these brothers did not agree to disagree. But it was a change because we were actually trying to get to that point. Even when I looked in the chat and when I went back in the chat, people were trying. And that's all we really need is a start. Even if they didn't agree to disagree, at least the people seen it as a problem. Now, guess what? We can fix it. Now we can talk about it. because the people seen it. But in the chat last night, it wasn't like that. We got to be careful where we go and what we do, because we are literally being conditioned. We are being conditioned with entertainment. It's been going on. First, it was in songs, movies, TV show. We used to have the Cosby Show, making us a different world. Shows like this making us want to go to college, seeking a higher education. It was cool. Saying Bill Cosby as a doctor, oh, I want to be like Bill. That was cool. Even Family Matters, right? We had shows like that at one point. But now all the shows depict black people as violent gangbangers, drug dealers. Now we're being programmed. And it's different ways, but entertainment is one. We get on YouTube, and the most packed rooms on YouTube is when people argue. And that's not normal. That's not entertainment. Do with money all the time. People will do almost anything for money. Do it with fame. People will do almost anything to get famous. Like how did we fall so far? How did we fall so far as a people? In society, not just black people, just you are willing to sell someone out or hurt someone or take money to do something you normally wouldn't do that you know is morally wrong. It's our mindset. People really think materialism is a thing. Like when you die, you can't take none of that. Well, I'm gonna enjoy it while I'm here. 9 times out of 10, when you buy something, you're looking for the next thing to buy. We are here to have experiences. And yes, obtaining nice things, but people don't even know what the joy in getting things are. It ain't even getting the object. It's the journey, the path you take to get it. That's where the euphoria comes from. Not actually obtaining it. Yeah, when you finally touch it, yeah, I did all this work to get this. That's why instant gratitude or instant reward is not satisfying. You just want it more and more and more and more and more. That's not really satisfying. We can throw self-love in there too. In the mindset, you got to change that. Whatever happens inside you eventually comes out. If that's positive or negative. Whatever's inside you. So if it's pain and hurt, it's going to come out. And most people don't even know how to heal, how to recover. And a lot of us, we hurt. A lot of us hurt. And the first opportunity we get, we try to hurt other people. That's a mindset. And it's easy to change, but it's hard to do. It's easy to change, but it's hard to do. Because all you got to do is not hurt other people. But you've been so conditioned to doing so. Most people have. Half of the time when you lash out on a person, you're not even that mad at that person. It's something else. It's not even really what that person, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes it's not even the person you upset at. It's something else that you was holding in, and this person did it, so they go get all of it. I know. I used to do it all the time. So I know. I lash out on somebody, and I wouldn't even be mad at them like that. And then after I had time to think about it, I'd be like, man, that wasn't even cool. I would have been to slap or punch somebody for no reason. Or I ain't gonna say no reason, but for a stupid reason. And I just embarrassed this person in front of everybody. Appreciate it though, guys. Thank you. I'm just rambling again. I know I'm about to go over to coach. But yeah, we gotta stop dipping our toes in the water and change and go swimming. And the first thing is to change the mindset. I hear all these solutions to fix the black community. And the one I hear the least is we got to think first. We got to change the way we think first. Before an action occurs, it's a thought. So no matter what action you put before you change the frame of the mind, you'll run into the same problems. That was the first thing they took from us in slavery, was the way we think. The next was our language. But the very first thing they tried to break was your mind. And that's the very last thing we try to regain. We would try to regain wealth. We would try to regain our history, our heritage, before we regain our mindset. We don't even think free. Most people I know, their mindset is geared towards survival, not living. I didn't understand the difference until I began to think as if I was living, not surviving. Because when I was surviving, I had to do what I had to do. You know, you just got to do what you got to do. But when you live in, you make better and different choices because you're building. You're not thinking about making it through today, and getting to the next day. You start thinking about the future. 15, 20 years from now. And when you do that, you begin to make plans, strategies. And you know and understanding you're okay with it to take time because you're living. You got it. No, we don't have much time on this earth. We don't. But we got time here. And I expect to use all of my time. I'm no longer surviving. I'm living. You can never live with a survival mindset. And I'm not telling you that to say, oh, be gullible. No. What I'm saying is you can make very intelligent decisions. It's not the fact that you don't have to be skeptical and look over your shoulder and watch your back. That's not the mindset I'm talking about as far as building. Understanding that each person has a resource or ability. And we all here together to be used by one another, not abused. And I hear people say, oh, no one's using me. That's the existence of everything. It's to be used. We use trees, we use water. Everything is supposed to be used. You get used in some type of way. If it's for reproduction, if it's for labor, if it's for thinking, if it's for a skill or trait you have, you go be used. That's not what you should be worried about. You should be worried about not being abused. No one should take advantage of anyone. It should be an even, fair exchange. At minimum, energy. You know, we all got different abilities. We all got different capabilities. We all got different resources. And if we come together and use those things together, we can make an effective change. I always go back to the conscious community because that's one of the, I can't figure it out. One of the things that tickle my brain. Like, is this created for income? Is this a hustle? Because Even if you have different religious or spiritual beliefs, you still get the same problems, right? So why not use all that information and come together? You have people from different walks of life coming together. Okay, you might be Muslim, you might be Christian, but we all black. So why don't we come together and build this? And I respect your beliefs, you respect mine. I don't have to practice yours, you don't have to practice mine. But that don't mean we can't coexist. How is that so hard? Or instead of debating on the validity or the history, why don't you teach the people the things that are useful out of each religion or spiritual practice and give it to them and let them choose? They don't even do that. They don't even do that. Nope. They rather beef and debate, and it's crazy. And these are the spiritual, religious people, even the intellectual people. You know, they just want to dominate. And no one really wants change. Everyone's really content. I think just most people, like I said, they got that herd mentality. I go with the flow. Because it's going that way and it's going at a nice speed. This is the speed I like. I'm going to jump on this train and go. Instead of blazing your own path. Or traveling a newer, slower one. We gotta change the way we think. And then that way we can be aware of the opportunity when it presents itself to make an effective change, a positive change, a fruitful change. Because we get them all the time, but we don't see them because we ain't looking for them. Can't look for them. If you already got a negative mindset, how can you see something positive? You go keep finding negative things. There's a billion things that all of us could be mad at, upset about. But then we miss the good things about life. Or miss out on the good things. Because we just go through life looking for another problem. Because that problem gives us an excuse. If you're watching this video back on playback, do me a favor, hit the like, hit the sub button, hit the notification. That way when I go live, you'll know. You can come build with me. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to find solutions. I see a lot of problems, but I ain't got nobody to talk to them about them. If we sit and talk about the problems, we can find solutions for them. Or at least tools, something that we can use to fix the problem. Or a way to totally eradicate it. But if we never had these discussions, we'd never find these solutions. But that's all I got. Like I said, if you watching this on playback, hit the like, hit the subscribe, turn on notification bells when I build. What up, King? You alright, brother? Yeah, I was just about to cut it, bro. Hey, man, I applaud you for trying, man. You tried. And I applaud you for what y'all did at the beginning when you came up. That right there gave an example of how when we have a problem, we can work things out. And y'all gave a perfect example of how to do that. And that's what we needed to see. Because once we see it could be done, we'll strive to do it even more. We'll strive to do it even more. But yeah, let me get out of here. But that's the word, man. Conversations build nations. We got to start having more of them.